I didn't see you there. Welcome to Friday Night Drunken Science and Chemistry with Cody. What are we making, you ask? Well, apart from brownies, we're going to make some copper chloride. We're going to need some copper, some hydrochloric acid, and peroxide. Firstly, you're going to want to put your copper in your 2015 Coca-Cola glass, which we all know you got a shit ton of at home. Next up, you're going to want to measure out about 150 mils of your hydrochloric acid using some of your most capable measuring equipment. I've got a bottle with 100. You're going to want about the same amount of the hydrogen peroxide as well. See that smoke? Don't breathe that in. Now get ready for some grade 11 chemistry shit right here. Oh, look at that colour. Alright, now you're going to want to put that in a safe place and make sure you also always label accordingly. Next up, we're going to want to extract the lithium metal out of these batteries. I always recommend using a pipe cutter for this part. Works quite nicely. And there we go. Piece of cake. Now separate your anode from your cathode, and you've just harvested yourself some perfectly good lithium. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Cody, why would you want lithium? That doesn't make sense. Well, boys and girls, I'm glad you asked. Lithium has a special property that when you set it on fire, it turns the fuck up. Allow me to demonstrate. See the red? Look at that nice red colour. Very bright. Smells very bad. So I've had myself a good night's sleep and let that sit for about 8 hours or so. We're going to check up on it now. Now, you'll notice with your copper chloride it's gone a dark black colour. That's good. That means we've started to break down that copper.
You're going to want the oven set to about 160 degrees, fan fast, to ensure you get that nice spongy texture.
I mean, next up we're going to want to accelerate the corrosion process. Alright, so now you're going to want to aerate the solution to speed up the reaction and put some more oxygen in there. I've done this using some straws, a balloon, and a mattress pump. Before you turn on your pump, you're going to want to make sure you got some good beats. I recommend Triple J or Nova. Oh yeah, Major Laser. Alright, let's turn on our pump. Ideally, you don't want to spill too much acid everywhere, because too much acid is a bad time. What's happening is the hydrogen peroxide and the air from the pump are both being used at the same time to corrode that copper, much in the same way as a two-dude threesome. For this next part, you're going to want to steal one of the boat flares out of the family boat. Now, if you pop off that end cap, you're going to be able to access the main part of the flare. Excellent. Now from there you can remove the projectile from the rest of the casing, which contains mostly gunpowder and phosphorus. Oh, don't know if you caught that, we just set some of this shit on fire. Now, if we cut open the housing for the projectile, we can get to the rest of those explosives. And there you go. There's the ignition source for a flare. Now, you're going to want to use that flare to... Hey look, we got a free parachute. Sweet. Crikey, have a look at this. As the copper started to break down, the solutions turned from that murky dark brown colour into this nice fresh crisp green. We've always got those 15 boxes of sparklers lying around in the pantry. They're going to come in real useful next. Grab out your sparklers. Next up, you're going to want to get some berries, some yogurt, some milk, and an egg. And you're going to want to put that inside of a smoothie cup. Blend. Nothing to do with science, just very nutritious. Alright, so I got to go to work, so we're going to have to switch this baby off. Beautiful. Now you're going to want to go to work so that you can purchase more chemicals for more science. Anywhere you've spilt acid, you want to throw some ammonia over the top of that so that it doesn't hurt or harm the environment. Very important. Welcome back to Drunken Science. While you were gone, we've managed to hollow out both the starter and the fuel cell from the flare. Separated them into two separate containers. Now you're going to want to get those sparklers we had earlier and break them down into a nice refined state. Then you're going to want to shake them into a small container. Mix in some of that phosphorus and gunpowder. Or not. Now we're going to add in some of that lithium metal we got out of those batteries a bit earlier. Just cram that in there. We're going to put a fuse into the top. And hopefully, if we've got this right, we should have ourselves a red fire sparkle bomb. I expected it to be red. That didn't go too well, but a good scientist never gives up. I've moved that copper chloride into a bigger container. Now I'm going to add some sawdust to it to try and soak some of that up. We've got our copper chloride all soaked up and looking like shit. We're going to need a container to test this one in. I recommend a Voss bottle, really coming out and being trendy. Make sure you waste none of it and stay hydrated at the same time. So for this test, we've gotten some sparkler dust and we've thrown our copper chloride on top. Hopefully if this goes right, we're going to see some blue fire. Come on, blue fire. Look at those nice blue flames. Alright, so now we're just using straight concentrated lithium now. I want to show you what happens here. Notice that red? Now we've got some indication that this may possibly work. You want to get a shit ton of those sparklers and break them down into dust. I recommend a rolling pin to make things faster. Let's have a look at what we've managed to put together. We've got 2 cups of sparkler dust, some gunpowder, phosphorus, lithium metal, and copper chloride. We're going to mix these together. So what's our result? An American themed firework that shoots red, white and blue fire. All in celebration of the 4th of July. God bless America.